Hey guys, welcome to The Strong Young Man. Don't use dating apps unless you're in the top 10% of desirability to women. This means that you need to have a higher sexual market value than 90% of all men from all other age groups. If you're under 30, dating apps are not for you unless you earn a lot of money or are famous. Today's episode is going to explain why. Reason number 1. The women on dating apps have an overblown sense of self-worth and an overrated impression of their own sexual market value. They all contend that they are these unique, amazing princesses. The cause of these delusions of grandiosity is partially a consequence of the generation entirely immersed in social media. Their sense of self-worth is further inflated by matching with thousands of people per day. This results in all the women rating themselves 1 to 2 points higher than they actually are. Some women deceive the men and rate themselves 1 to 2 points higher based on what they looked like at their sexual peak. For example, an overweight 27-year-old may display photos of when she was 23 and looking much healthier. This can quickly take her perceived value from an overweight 27-year-old to a 27-year-old that looks like a healthier 23-year-old. This can take her rating from a 4 to a 6. Given the unlimited access to men, she'll swipe right to guys who are an 8 or above, when in reality she is a 4. This kind of behaviour is just another strange manifestation of female nature in the modern world. Women are manipulating the desires of men in conjunction with the limitations of the dating app and then applying a high filtration rate to select their best mate. It's very clever of them. Women have a monopoly over the social conventions of online dating, and most men are oblivious to this. I understand why women exploit it. It's in their nature to be sexually selective. But I think their behaviour is the same as a guy exploiting the dating app by deliberately lying about his height, resources and income to cater to a woman's sexual strategy. Curiously, this double standard is something that would be labelled as toxically masculine, misogynistic, or any other assault on a man's masculinity. Reason number 2. Women are too selective. Dating apps cater to the sexual strategy of all women by allowing women to select the candidate that best satisfies their hypergamy. Dating apps also cater to the sexual strategy of only the top 10% of men by giving men the opportunity to access many young, healthy, vibrant and attractive women. Women are the sexual selectors because they offer the greater reproductive sacrifice, and so they are going to reserve their egg for the best candidate available. This means that you will not get a second look if you're in the bottom 90% of men, except from the low-value woman, the scraps, and the single mothers. Dating apps cater to the female sexual strategy unless you're in the top 10% of men, in which case they cater to you on a level of extreme abundance never seen before. For you top 10% of men, online dating becomes like shooting fish in a barrel. If this is not you, then I suggest you avoid dating apps altogether. The reason why women on dating apps are so selective can be explained through the economic principle of supply and demand. A woman's demands do not change. They are always seeking one candidate who best satisfies their hypergamy. As the supply presented to a woman increases, the less attractive the available men appear, and women become more selective. In the context of an online dating application, a woman's options extend as far as the eye can see, and are sometimes perceived to be limitless. Compare this to other real-world scenarios, such as a bar, where a woman's options extend to 100 men within the room. Understand that women tend to default to emotion rather than reason. They give a greater priority to feelings within their immediate frame of reference. They do not possess the strategic depth of thinking on the same level as men. Capitalise on this in situations where less men are available to women, and your closure rate will increase. More coming up on this shortly. Reason number 3. For men not in the top 10%, your closure rate is going to be extremely low. Minute for minute, you're going to be better off targeting women in real-world circumstances. There are 2 approaches you can take to meeting women. The sales approach, pursuing every opportunity down every avenue. Or the concentrated approach. Concentrate your efforts on pursuing opportunities that bring the most value per the least time investment. In the context of businesses, the sales approach works extremely well for businesses trying to expand and hire more staff. But it does not work well for meeting women because you are operating as a sole trader. Instead, conserve your energy by keeping your efforts concentrated on the opportunities that bring you the best fruit rather than the most fruit. This is especially relevant if you are really picky like myself or just don't have the time to deal with women on a consistent basis. As Robert Greene puts it, you gain more by finding a rich mine and mining it deep than by flitting from one shallow mine to another. Intensity defeats extensity every time. To get the most fulfillment out of dating, we need to apply the following formula. Fulfillment equals opportunities times closure rate times rate of women that bring value to your life. By sacrificing some leads through retiring your Tinder profile, you are able to channel that extra time and concentrate it into meeting women who bring more value to your life in other areas. A concentrated approach on a different method, such as meeting women in the supermarket or other forms of day game, will also mean that you become more skillful at that form of seduction. And this will see your closure rate increase the more experience that you get. Your closure rate will also increase if you meet women in an environment where she has less options, as mentioned previously. This is not to say that you should concentrate your efforts on one woman. Quite the opposite, actually. An abundance mindset is key to your dating success. After all, the power of the abundance mindset is why dating applications work so well for women. The concentrated approach means to concentrate your efforts on the methods that bring you the best women, not just one woman. If you are having great success on dating apps, keep up the good work. You have demonstrated that you have been able to break into the top 10% of men, and you have earned the right to maximize its utility. For the majority of men, this is unattainable. There are always going to be exceptions to this rule, but these are statistical outliers, and they must be excluded from the data that forms this conclusion. I understand why men who aren't in the top 10% opt for dating apps. Dating apps are a rejection buffer. They are an easy way to solve a man's primal fear of rejection by buffering its effect through a medium. Final thought. You can manipulate dating apps to artificially increase your own value. This may work if you are on the fringe of that 90% value. To do this, you need to strategically demonstrate that you have more than what you actually have of what women find desirable. This is not lying. It's marketing and presenting yourself in such a way that leads women to make her own conclusions about your value. Women subconsciously make a call on whether or not you satisfy her hypergamy based off the regular attention that she gets from the men that are in the sexual marketplace. While most women look to qualify men, their primary filtration strategy on dating applications is to disqualify men who clearly don't satisfy their hypergamy. If you strategically omit information, but include information that implies you a higher value, she is unable to immediately disqualify you from her candidate list. This will give you an opportunity to get your foot in the door. The rest is about game. Strategies that you can use include exaggerating your value by displaying pictures that demonstrate your wealth or status, getting pictures in suits, driving expensive sports cars, or photos of you in good locations such as on yachts will do the trick. Even though you don't actually have this value, you can lead a woman to conclude that you do. Omit the photos that disqualify you in a woman's eyes. Turn the game back around on them by mirroring their behaviour. If they exaggerate their looks with filters, makeup, plastic, fake tans, etc., then there is nothing wrong with you doing the same. No matter my value, I have entirely opted out of online dating, except to perform social experiments in order to gather information to present to you on this channel. I suggest you follow the same strategy and opt out. Even if you are in the top 10% and have access to any woman you want online, go out and meet women in real-world circumstances. The best women do not use dating applications anyway. Thanks for watching today's episode. In episode 38, I'll talk about why you must avoid negative people. Subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when it drops. Catch you then.